Hello everyone and welcome back to another DMO video, and in this video we are making a tier list of all the Jogress Digimons in DMO. And so this tier list is not just gonna be the strongest Digimon higher and the low and the weakest lower. No, we are not just taking into consideration the power of the Digimon. We're also, what we are mostly gonna look at is the price of a Digimon. Like, some Digimon are just way too expensive, like this little guy over there, and just too weak. Like this guy, it's way too weak. It's not gonna be higher in the list because it's slightly weaker and actually a lot expensive compared to a lot of Digimons. So yeah, I hope that is clear. So yeah, we're starting off with like chronological order by like release date. So we have Omegamon on top, which was released in 2012. Then we have all Digimon in 2013, which was only 2. Then 2014. 2015, 2016, which was only Shoutmon, 2017, only 1, and then 2018, they just added a lot of Digimons. Most of them, or like 4 of them, are actually Digimon that already existed. Actually, all of them are Digimon already existed except for Millenniumon and Sword. And then we have 2019, 2020, and then 2021 with the most recent Rust Tyrannomon, which is gonna be quite tricky to rank because we don't know anything about Rust Tyrannomon. I don't think anyone have it yet. But yeah, starting off with Omegamon. So where we are gonna put the OG Omegamon? B. We are putting Omegamon in B. So I think in my heart, I think B is just way too high. Like, I think it would be a C. But there's a reason for that. Mainly is like the accessibility. That's what we are looking at. So Omegamon is an SS ranked Digimon. He's a good for like a starter Digimon. If like you don't have a Jogress and decided to go for Omegamon, it could be like your first step after the starter Digimon, seeing like how easy it is to get Agumon and Gabumon, and the Jogress quest is not that hard. Now the maze, I know the maze is kinda hard to do because you need to do like maze until F3, and it's gonna be hard, but you know, right, it's 2021, the game has been a lot of rebalances. Maze Digimons are way too easy to kill. The problem is borders. If you are in Omegamon, then you will be struggling, and after that, after a second thought, I think I will lower him down to C. While I really love Omegamon, I don't think he's too good. He's like a very low tier SS rank. His quest is kinda pain in the butt to do. So he could be like a good starter Digimon, but I don't think he's great or anything. So yeah, Omegamon is a C. He is a very mediocre SS rank. And then we have Alphamon or Ryukin. The normal Alphamon or Ryukin, and believe it or not, we're putting this guy an S rank. So, why? So, Alphamon or Ryukin, not only it have a very high stats for an SS rank, in fact, his HB and attack are actually few points short of an SS+. He also have advanced skill breaking on his second skill, and he is vaccine and light, so it gives him a huge advantage against things like Infinite Mountain Dungeon, the Crack of Digimon 1, and he have a pretty decent HB. So, oh yeah, the other thing that I forgot to mention is this guy is completely free to play. You can farm both Digimons without needing any cash items. That's like the main thing of this guy. You have to take into consideration the price and how powerful this guy is. Like, this is one of the most important Digimon, not only because it can digivolve to Alphamon or Ryukin X, which, spoiler alert, will also be an S tier, but he's actually very strong and not that expensive, especially when you take into consideration there are Digimons like Valkyremon, for example, or I don't know, Bolt Bodamon, which are like slightly close to the same, or things like like Shoutmon Cross 5, which have the same status but much more expensive. So yeah, Alphamon or Ryukin is actually quite good and very good considering it doesn't cost you anything. Then we have Shoutmon. Yeah, this guy is a D. Like, this guy have 0 redeeming qualities. It's an S rank, which is the same rank as your starter Digimon. Heck, you get a better Digimon from the jumping events. From the jumping events, yeah. So this guy is really weak. Like, Shoutmon is absolute garbage. Again, has no redeeming qualities. S rank, the Jogress, there's really nothing about it. Yeah, just a D rank. Then we have Sylphimon. So Sylphimon, the only sort of redeeming quality that Sylphimon have is like it digivolves to Valkyremon, but then it's not Valkyremon, so it just like Valkyremon is not even that good. So yeah, it's still gonna be A D. Again, it's very weak. S rank, yeah, low attack speed, but I don't think it's really worth a C. It's just gonna be a D. Like, it's a D. Then we have Examon. It's gonna be a C. So there are something that you will notice gonna be recurring. Which is I'm gonna be dunking on data Digimons. We don't have any data dungeon, which means there's a lot of Digimons that are kinda strong, but they are not gonna be higher on the tier because they are data. There are no vaccine Digimons, which means data Digimon are by default weaker than virus Digimons or vaccine Digimons because they don't have attribute advantage. It's kinda sad, but it is what it is, unfortunately. I really wish we had a decent vaccine dungeons that we would use our data Digimon in it, but we don't. So yeah, Examon is an SS rank. It's not the greatest, but I don't think it's as horrible as Sylphimon or Shakuman. I think Examon is also pretty cool, so that's why I'm putting him as a C. He's not horrible, but yeah, I think like you might even argue it's in a D, but I can't put him in next to Sylphimon and Shakuman, to be honest. Then we have Fanglongmon. So I really want to put Fanglongmon in a B, but I don't know how it's gonna be. So, Fanglongmon is an SS plus Digimon. It requires 4 Digimons, and again, it's so far all the Digimon costs nothing. You can get them from, I think, farming them. Fanglongmon, you can't really farm the eggs, but they are out there. You can buy them from other players. You can farm Zokiaomon, I think, but other than that, the rest aren't farmable. But you hopefully can find them from players or from events. But yeah, so Fanglongmon itself, the only downside is its attack speed and it not being virus or vaccine. It's data Digimon, and once again, data Digimons are kinda trash because there's no vaccine dungeons. But Fanglongmon have one of the highest HP for an SS plus Digimon, so it is like almost a triple S rank. But it's not really because it's lack of ASB. It only uses ASB on the 3rd skill, which is not great. So yeah, I don't think Fanglongmon is bad. Now, unfortunately, you can't use triple family triple family buffs anymore. But when it did, Fanglongmon was really good. But yeah, I don't think Fanglongmon is any good, but it's not horrible. Next is Susanomon, and same situation with Susanomon. It's a triple S rank Digimon, but it's really it's really SS plus at best. It's very expensive. Like when you take into consideration the price of Susanomon and how powerful it is, it's not that much better than Alphamon or Ryukin, if it's better. So it's like costs more than Alphamon or Ryukin, and I think in terms of DPS they are kinda the same, if not weaker than Alphamon or Ryukin. So yeah, I don't think Susanomon is good. It's very expensive. It's vaccine on Thunder, which gives us a disadvantage against virus Digimon, so it can't even utilize its full advantage when against virus Digimons, because most virus Digimons are darkness. So this guy is like both at advantage and disadvantage, which almost makes him neutral against virus Digimon, not at advantage. So it's not great. Susanomon is not great. I'm putting him at a B. I would put him in a C, but he's not that weak. So yeah. Next we have Millenniumon. This guy's gonna be a C. Like there is zero reason to use this guy because Moon Millenniumon, which is this guy, which we're gonna talk about, which we're gonna get into soon. But this guy evolves into Millenniumon, and the thing is, there's no requirement or any gate between both. You can just unlock Millenniumon and then unlock Moon Millenniumon literally after it. The quests are very simple. So honestly, I don't know. Like on itself, it's a me. It's a, like I might put it as a B. Actually, let's put it a B. Like it's very accessible. You don't need any like cash item or anything. You need a very simple quest, and the Digimons are not that hard to get. So yeah, Millenniumon is decent, I guess. But we have Moon Millenniumon, but yeah, put him at a B. It's not bad. Like B is like the average Digimon. Then we have Omegamon's Sword. So this guy is like a weaker version of Alphamon or Ryukin, and actually slightly stronger than normal Omegamon. And this is why he's gonna be as a B. He is slightly better than Omegamon. You don't need maze for the quest, so the quest is rather simple. You need 3 attribute items, but I don't think they are that hard to get. So yeah, he's a B. Not much to talk about here. He's like a better Omegamon, I guess. But yeah, it's not too great really. And next is Moon Millenniumon, and this is our second S rank. So Moon Millenniumon is an SS plus rank Digimon. You have a pretty high HP. You have a pretty decent attack speed. It actually have a very good attack speed, and it have double advanced skill breaking, plus being virus and darkness gives it advantage against things like King Longmon, and I think he's neutral against Baihumon. I honestly don't remember, but yeah, Millenniumon is actually one of the best Digimons to get. He's an SS plus, he's free to play, it's a very strong one. Like, what more could you ask? Like, it's Millenniumon is literally broken. It's really good that they made such a Digimon very accessible. Like, this guy puts a lot of loot box Digimons to shame. I'm not even kidding. Like, Bodamon, it's not a cash shop, it's not a loot box, it's a cash campaign Digimon. This guy costs 0 versus this guy who costs a lot of money and loot box and cash campaign stuff. Millenniumon is stronger. Like, it is a very good free to play Digimon. Yeah, that's really all about it. This guy is really good. Next is Alphamon Ryoken X. So yeah, he's an S rank. So Alphamon Ryoken X is where you get into the very grindy stuff. So AOX is one of the best Digimon. It's a triple S rank, and this guy is very strong. It's literally on par with triple S plus Digimons, and the price itself is not that expensive, at least compared to the triple S plus Digimon or loot box Digimons in general. He's like one of the lower one, not lower, but he's like a 910 1000 Tera-ish, and you can get him by farming 40k-ish X tickets. I know it takes a lot, like this guy takes months to get, but once you've got it, you're like, you have it all. You don't need any other Digimon. It's really that good. So I can't just not put him as an S. It's really strong. It's literally not just strong, it's broken. Alright, next we have the Imperial Jomon family. I'm just gonna put these guys down there in a D because they are useless. So we have Pilgrimon, which is weaker than Sylphimon and Shakumon for some reason. Then we have Imperial Jomon, which is also weaker than Sylphimon and Shakumon. Makes 0 sense, but it is what it is. So the Dragon mode, the mega form of this guy, the Jogress, have attack speed of 1.0. Then we have the Jogress who have attack speed 1.5, which makes it garbage. Then we have this guy as an S plus, but it's nobody cares about an S plus Jogress. It's not great anyway. So yeah, he's here. Also, that made me realize I forgot Paladin mode. Give me a second. Here is Paladin mode, and I put him in a C. Might push him to a B, really? Actually, I might just do that. So there is a reason why this guy is garbage. So Paladin mode, the Jogress one have the exact same stats. So Imperial Jomon, Paladin mode have the exact same stats as Omegamon Ultra S, despite being much weaker. Like, this guy is even worse than things like Alphamon Ryoken. This is where the game gets slightly broken, okay? We have in DMO what's known as advanced skill breaking, which it sucks, but it is what it is. Advanced skill breaking is something that Imperial Jomon Paladin mode doesn't have, which means he have skills that are useless. It does very low DPS compared to things like Alphamon Ryoken, despite being higher in rank, but it does less DPS because it can advance skill break with his skills. So it's sad, but this guy, despite being an SS plus, it's weaker than an SS rank Digimon. It's weaker than Digimons that cost us less. Like, it doesn't make sense, but yeah, there's unfortunately 0 reason to go for Paladin mode. But the thing is, the reason I didn't want to put him as a C is he's not bad. I mean, he is bad when you take some Digimons into consideration, but I don't think, I'm putting him down there. Like, there is no reason to go for him. That's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, he's stronger than Omegamon Sword and Millenniumon, but the thing is, he's way too expensive. And I think Susanomon also up there, but I think Susanomon at least have a slightly higher HP, and it doesn't rely on advanced skill breaking, which means it have more freedom in terms of movement, I guess, and have a slightly higher HP. I don't know. It's kinda tough, okay? Next we have Omegamon X, which is the strongest vaccine Digimon in DMO. Yeah, I know, Alphamon Awakens is a thing, but I think Omegamon X is better. It's tough where to put this guy. So if you are a free-to-play player like me, Omegamon X is just not obtainable. It doesn't matter how much you grind, you're not gonna get it. Some people got it from the login time reward loot boxes that was given a few times. I didn't. I only got AOX and I was really lucky with that, but didn't get Omegamon X. Yeah, it's not gettable as a free-to-play Digimon, and it's very strong. The thing is, I'm not putting him as an S. I'm not doing it. Like, yeah, it is very strong. You can say whatever you want, but it's a Digimon that is just not obtainable outside of... If the Digimon that is not obtainable outside of throwing a lot of money, then it's not worth it. Like, I don't know what to say. Digimon is not obtainable outside of being a whale. Like if you are free to play, or even just, I guess, buying stuff from the cash shop, like as an average person, this is like only for whales. You have to whale in to get Omegamon X. You have to gamble, or just you either gamble for it by buying a lot of loot boxes and have a 0.1% chance, or you just sell crown for Terra for in-game money and then buy it, but you still won't have enough. Like you need to waste hundreds if not thousands of dollars to get it. So yeah, well, it's very strong. I'm not gonna put him as an S. It's just way too expensive. And guess what? Alphamon Ryukin X is somewhat close to Omegamon X. I think at even occasions Omegamon X is weaker than Alphamon Ryukin X. And occasions, not at all time, but I think versus some short trades, Alphamon Ryukin X takes the cake. Next is Omegamon Ultra S, and we are just gonna throw this guy as in an S tier, because of course. So Omegamon Ultra S is straight up the most broken Digimon out there. It's very similar to Moon Millenniumon, and it is actually stronger than Moon Millenniumon. And the reason for that is not only it has double advanced skill breaking, but it has also like higher attack and a very good HP, and it's very cheap. Like to unlock it, you need a quest and a $5 item. And of course you can buy it from other players for like 30, even less than 30 Terra. And the other thing is, well, yeah, the eggs are only cash exclusive, but they are like always being sold by other players. It's not something that's impossible to get. It's very easy to get, relatively very easy to get, and it's very strong. Like if you have this guy and Alphamon Ryukin X, you need nothing. You literally need none of the other Digimon. Omegamon Ultra S can do most dungeons. It is a very good Digimon. Next we have Sword D, and same situation as on for Omegamon X. It is a triple S plus Digimon, but yeah, it is just not obtainable outside of being a whale or just ridiculously lucky. Like yeah, it is a strong Digimon. It have two useless skills, and it only uses F3, and it is what it is. It's a virus Digimon. It's good, but you know, not obtainable. It's just Digimon that exists, only whales who can get it. He's not weak, so I'm not gonna put him as a B, but not as an S because it's ridiculously expensive. It's something that's way too expensive for a Digimon. Like, you need to waste literally thousands of dollars to get it. Unless of course you get lucky, which is not something that you can control. You can't control whether you're lucky or not. So yeah, that is that. Next we have Shoutmon Cross 2, which is straight up gonna be a D. Now, I make no secret that Shoutmon is my favorite Digimon, and it's really... Shoutmon Cross 2 is not, okay? Like normal Shoutmon, Shoutmon Cross 3, Omega Shoutmon, but this guy is not my favorite Digimon. Then we have Shoutmon Cross 3, which is one of my favorite Digimons, but it is way too weak. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put him in a D, because this guy is hot garbage. Like, I love Omegamon, I love Shoutmon Cross 3, okay? Don't get me wrong, I really love him, but he have no redeeming qualities. It's just way too weak. You require 3 Digimons plus some cash items, plus the cash eggs themselves. So it is one of the more expensive S-rank Digimons. Like, it is weak and expensive. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to put him in a D. Next, we have Valkyrymon. And Valkyrymon is a fake SS plus Digimon. So for some reason, Valkyrymon is an SS plus, despite having SS stats. It's very weird. This is why I'm putting it in a C. It's decent. I don't think Valkyrymon is horrible, but it costs us a 69 crown item while being weaker than Digimon who costs 0. Valkyrymon is weaker than Alphamon Ryukin X. One costs a 69 crown item, one costs 0 crown items. It's literally that simple. So I'm not putting Valkyrymon anywhere above C. And the other thing is Valkyrymon's model. I am not the fan of the models. It's like the texture looks very bad for some reason. Like this was a 2019 Digimon. I don't know why it looks so bad, but yeah, Valkyrymon just a C. Then we have Omegamon Ultra B. Same situation. Supposedly strong. I think this guy might even be lower. The thing is, I'm putting him lower, and there is a reason for that. I mean, it feels weird that I'm putting him next to Sword D, but next to normal Sword. But you have to remember, we're only taking into consideration not only the power but the price. This guy is garbage SS plus Digimon. It is the weakest SS plus Digimon, and the reason is it doesn't have any ASB. It have to use the skill. His third skill is outmatched by Sword D. He's like an inferior version of Sword D, and that's really all. In fact, at occasions, Omegamon Ultra S can do more DPS. Heck, even Alphamon Ryukin S can do more DPS at many occasions. So this guy is not really good, and it's just ridiculously expensive. Then we have Zed Millenniumon. I don't know where to put this guy. This guy is the strongest Digimon in the game, but it's not obtainable. But it's just gonna be criminally if I don't put him in an S, in an A. I'm not putting him in an S because yeah, it's not obtainable, okay? Even for whales, you need to. This is like the most expensive Digimon in DMO. Yeah, well, I don't think there's such a thing as worth your money when it comes to a game, because we're talking about thousands of dollars. It has a 0.5% chance from a $20 loot box. Again, I can't put him lower than an A because it's strong, but it's not obtainable, so I'm just gonna throw him in an A. And I now have a feeling that A is gonna be like a loot box only Digimon or something. Yeah, Zed Millenniumon is strong, but it's ridiculously expensive. Next we have Mastimon. So Mastimon was a cash campaign Digimon in 2020, and it was brought back in cash campaign in 2021. I think she costs like $200 or $300, and she is, now last time I remember she had advanced skill break with all 3 skills, which made her very comparable to things like Alphamon or Yokin X. If that's the case, and I'm not sure if it is, but if that's still the case, then she's actually pretty strong. But then we're talking about costing $200 and $300. It sucks. Now when she was first added, her item was tradable, and I saw her out there for like 300 Tera or something, which actually was very worth it in my opinion, since she's a weaker version of Alphamon or Yokin X and much more cheaper. So she was good at the time, but right now the item was, when it was brought back, it was untradeable, which made her, I guess, only for whales or people who are willing to pay $200 and $300 in a game. Which yeah, it's hard for me to put in an B, but I'm gonna put it in an A rank because she is somewhat strong, but I don't think she's great because being locked behind a casual events just make her very inaccessible. So just an B. Then we have both Bodamon. Same situation as Mastimon. This guy was locked behind a cash campaign and later loot boxes and rare machine events. He's garbage. See, he's like virus Digimon and he's weaker than Millenniumon. Once again, it's a Digimon that costs more than a $0 Digimon. Like, it's weaker than Digimon that costs nothing despite costing a lot. So I'm putting him in a C. Next we have Chaosmon. So Chaosmon is a free to play Digimon. You don't need any loot box or anything, but you needed to do a 60 days quest. And when you do the quest, you realize that this guy is actually have 0 ASB, which makes this guy much weaker than things like Alphamon or Yokin. Okay, not much, but its DBS is pretty low compared to things like Alphamon or Yokin. So I guess I'm gonna put him in a C. Like, I know it looks cool and all, but it's not great. I don't feel it's worth it. Like, in the 60 days, you could have gotten yourself Omegamon Ultra S or Alphamon or Yokin, and you are better off with them. I guess what he has is like slightly higher HP than Alphamon or Yokin. I don't think that's gonna be much difference. Like, if you can do something with Chaosmon, then you probably can do it better with Alphamon or Yokin. Maybe not, but I don't think it's really worth it. C seems a bit too low, but he's have the same situation as Omegamon Paladin mode. I guess he's free, so that's that, but then the quest takes 60 days. So I'm just gonna put him in between B and S. Yeah, that's the thing. Next we have is Rafflissimon. Rafflissimon is a Digimon that also cash campaign. I think she was, no, she's not. I was gonna say she's the last tradable cash campaign Digimon, but I think that was Fanglong Shin. Rafflissimon is a data Digimon. She have a stun on her F3. I think she's decent, but again, being a cash campaigns, making her not very good. So I'm putting him next to Chaosmon. Not only being data Digimon, but just, you know, being cash campaign. If you wanna compare her to other data Digimons like Fanglugumon, she's probably weaker than things like Fanglugumon. So I don't know. It's just data Digimons are really hard to use because whatever dungeon you're gonna use Rafflissimon in, you are better off using any virus Digimon. So I can't put her higher than whatever this rank is. This feels weird that I'm making up a new rank, but I promise nothing will go in there except these two, okay? Next we have Alphamon Awaken. This is a slightly better Alphamon or Yokin in terms of the looks. It has more HPs than Alphamon or Yokin X, but guess what? It does almost the same DBS as Alphamon or Yokin X, believe it or not. This guy's garbage. In many ways, this guy is just hot garbage. I'm putting him in a C. I love the model, but we already have too many Alphamon or Yokin X. You know what? Let me tell you how many Alphamons we have in DMO. We have Alphamon, then we have Alphamon X, then we have Alphamon or Yokin, then we have Alphamon or Yokin X, then we have Alphamon or Yokin Awaken. 5 Alphamons. Now, of course, 4 of them are literally the same two of which have an axe, I guess. I don't know, there's just too many Alphamons. I know there's too many Omegamons as well, but at least every Omegamon is kinda unique, except like Omegamon and Zwart, but the rest are unique. But this guy, I'm not a fan, and once again, he just seems to be an expensive Digimon for no good reason. I think C is way too harsh, because I don't want whales to dump on, or to, yeah, I think C is way too harsh. I'm gonna put him as a B next to Zwart D because he's a trash SS+. Next we have Fanglongmon Chain. So this guy is, I'm really having a problem where to put this guy. So Fanglongmon Chain is actually very strong, and it is supposedly free to play. You can obtain all the items to unlock this guy from dungeons. But here's the thing, you need Fanglongmon dungeon. There are two problems with that. One, the item doesn't have 100% drop chance, so you need to have like literally hundreds upon hundreds of runs to get it. And because you need hundreds of items, and the item is not 100% drop chance. And the second reason is literally nobody bothers with Fanglongmon dungeon, and you can't solo it, so you have to rely on a party, and guess what, the party doesn't exist. So this guy being free to play is a joke, because nobody bothers with the dungeons. So this guy is in a very weird situation where it's actually obtainable, but except it's not, and it is a very strong, but again, it was only in a cash campaign event. It supposedly exists for free, but it's not obtainable. Nobody has gotten it yet, and nobody will, because nobody does Fanglongmon dungeon. So while it's a strong one, it's just not obtainable outside of loot boxes. So I'm gonna just put him as in a B. Like, if this guy was actually legit obtainable and you could farm it and get it, I would have literally put it in an S, but it's not. So yeah, that's that. Next is Shoutmon Cross 5. So Shoutmon Cross, yeah, sorry, that's Cross 4. I love this guy, I love it so much. It's one of my favorite Digimons, but I have to put him in a D. This is painful to do, but he's hot garbage. He requires 4 Digimons, he requires a lot of crown, 4 slots for an S+ Digimon. Yeah, he's a unknown attribute, but that's basically it. No redeeming qualities, unfortunately. He's garbage, very weak. It's hard. It's really does hurt me to say it, but he's not very strong. Next is Shoutmon Cross 4. I really flipped it, didn't I? This is Cross 4, D, because he sucks. Then Cross 5, he sucks but less, so he's an C. He's an SS+, normal SS Digimon. He has the same stats, almost the same stats as Alphamon Ryukin, so he's a top tier SS+ in terms of stats, but he doesn't advance skill break, which makes his DPS kinda bad, but then he's unknown, so he have an advantage against everything. But then he requires 5 Digimon. Like, pros and cons are very clashing with each other right now. But I'm just gonna put him in a C because I like him and his status is kinda high. So he's, yeah, I can't just not put him in something. Yeah, sorry. Next is Ordinimon. Cash campaign Digimon that requires another cash campaign Digimon. This is like 400 Digimons, $400 Digimon. She's an triple S, she's unknown, and I'm just gonna pop it in a B rank because guess what, it's cash campaign Digimon, and honestly I don't know what is her advanced skill breaking situation looks like. I don't know about Ordinimon really. Now the main thing here is the models. Like, she has a model, but then she has giant wings, so she's like a Pokemon where you have a very small body, like even smaller than things like Hikari, which is weird, so you can't literally see the Digimon, you only see the wings. So I'm just gonna put him in her B. She's only cash campaign, she's very expensive, that's it. Really, there's nothing more. Next we have Rustyrannomon, and this is gonna be slightly weird. So Rustyrannomon is released, but it's a cash campaign event like Igistramon, and it requires cash campaign. It's like the same situation as Ordinimon, and I'm gonna put him next to her. And looking at this guy's stats, he have a 2.8 attack speed. The wiki has been updated, by the way, and I think the stat has been data mined because nobody has obtained it yet, but the wiki is mostly right when it comes to this sort of stuff. So yeah, someone data mined the stats and updated on the wiki, probably. So yeah, looking at the stat, he's not great. I mean, maybe he is slightly good with that 2.8 attack speed. He's like lower attack speed than Fang, but then being virus, I don't know, but I don't think it's anywhere higher than B, because you have to remember cash campaign. The thing is, I can't rank Digimons who require a lot of money high because they are not worth it, especially when you have these 4 Digimons who are little to no money except for Alphamon Ryukin X. Like some of them are free, some of them are relatively cheap compared to other Digimons, and these are like the best when it comes to money versus reward, like effort versus reward. And yeah, with that, thank you very much for watching. If you agree with me, yeah. If you don't, let me know your list or what will you change. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more DMO content, and I will see you all in the next video.